by our view on both Nifty and the banking index and some of these stocks which one can track for long and short trades, alongside with the sectors which should be in focus. So this is something that we're going to cover in next 15-20 minutes, followed by a quick feedback poll, and then your questions. So any questions related to any particular sector, in general market theme, we can definitely ask during the Q&A. तो देखिए इस वेबिनार में हम बात करेंगे मार्केट की परफॉर्मेंस क्या रही हफ्ते में, कौन से सेक्टर्स अच्छा किए, कहाँ पे प्रेशर रहा, निफ्टी के गेनर्स लूजर्स क्या थे, क्या उसके मायने हैं, और नेक्स्ट वीक क्या लग रहा है अपने को। मेन वो है कि निफ्टी और बैंकिंग इंडेक्स में, और साथ ही साथ कौन से स्टॉक्स आपके फोकस में होने चाहिए, ये सब चीज़ों पे बात करेंगे। लास्ट में कोई भी सवाल है आपका, एक आपकी स्क्रीन पे Q&A का बटन है, दैट उसको आप यूज करते हुए कोई भी सेक्टर स्पेसिफिक कोई भी सवाल है आप जरूर पूछ सकते हैं। सो विल स्टार्ट द सेशन with a quick disclaimer that whatever information that we share during the presentation is only for educational purpose. It's not a trading or an investment recommendation. So before making any decision based on the information shared, please check with your financial advisor. So देखिए ये वेबिनार का मकसद ये है कि आप एक जेनरिक व्यू मार्केट के लिए तैयार करें, इसमें कोई ट्रेडिंग और इन्वेस्टमेंट रिकमेंडेशन नहीं है। तो उससे पहले कोई भी आप डिसाइड करें एक्शन लेने के लिए, प्लीज अपने फाइनेंशियल एडवाइजर के साथ जरूर चेक करिएगा। नाउ दिस इज द परफॉर्मेंस डैशबोर्ड फॉर द वीक। दिस इज हाउ both Nifty and Sensex ended nearly 2% kind of gains. When it comes to sectoral front, realty, banking, financials, auto and energy, they were the top 5 gainers. So if you remember last week, we were talking about realty, banking, financials and IT to be in focus. So barring IT, the top 3 are among the best performing sectors for the week. IT, yes, it was on back foot this week, but we feel that it's overdone, and especially in the IT majors, we'll see some recovery in days to come. We'll talk about that in details once we'll talk about the Nifty performance in sectors. Talking about gainers and losers, as you can see, the left side of your screen, ICICI, M&M, Nestle, NTPC, Shriram Finance. So very varied sectors, means banking, auto, FMCG, energy, and financials. Losing side, TCS, Grasim, BPCL, HCL Tech, and Wipro. Here, 3 names from the IT basket among the top 5 losers in the Nifty 50 basket. So, means it clearly shows that yes, IT was under pressure during the week. तो देखिए ये एक समरी है लास्ट वीक की परफॉर्मेंस की, कैसा रहा पूरा हफ्ता। तो एक चीज बिल्कुल क्लियर है कि जो टोन है वो पॉजिटिव रही। 2% के गेन निफ्टी में, वॉलेटिलिटी थी बट टोन पॉजिटिव रही। और सेक्टर्स की बात करें तो रियल्टी, बैंकिंग, फाइनेंशियल्स, ऑटो, एनर्जी, यहाँ पे अच्छी परफॉर्मेंस रही। वहीं पे थोड़ा बहुत प्रॉफिट टेकिंग मीडिया, आईटी और फार्मा में आपको देखने को मिला। बाकी सारे गेनर्स और लूजर्स से टॉप 5 गेनर्स लूजर्स हैं वीक के, पूरे वीक में जिन्होंने मार्केट में परफॉर्मेंस किया। और नेक्स्ट कम्स द critical point, our view for the next week. So we were here last week, right, that we were trading in a very tight range, and we've discussed that usually this is good. When we trade in a tight range, this is good, means we are not seeing any price wise damage, bulls are in control. So eventually market proved us right, means finally we are seeing this hurdle at 25,550, which we were referring for quite some time. We finally surpassed the same on Friday, decisive close, and now next we are inching towards this hurdle, 26,000, new milestone for the market. That is going to be the next immediate target, and eventually then 26,500. Right, so this is clear that a tight range consolidation is good. So as and when you see these kind of moves, especially in the market during a trend, let's say if it's an uptrend, if it is a downtrend, and if markets or a stock consolidate in a similar tight range, the possibility of continuation of the trend remains high. Means लास्ट वीक जब हम बात कर रहे थे तो मार्केट बहुत टाइट रेंज में ट्रेड कर रहा था पिछले 2 दिनों से। इस हफ्ते भी वही रहा, उसी रेंज को कंटिन्यू किया। तो जब आप बगैर प्राइस में डैमेज किए ट्रेड करते हैं एक टाइट रेंज में, तो वो जिस साइड का ट्रेंड होता है उसी का फॉलो अप आने की पॉसिबिलिटी ज्यादा होती है। तो वही देखने को मिला फ्राइडे के दिन, हमने स्ट्रॉन्ग मूव देखने को मिला फ्राइडे को, जिसने 25,550 जो कि लेवल हमने लास्ट वीक बात की थी उसको डिसाइसिवली ब्रेक किया रेजिस्टेंस को। अब 26,000 और 26,500 के लेवल्स खुल गए हैं। ये जो आप दो ऊपर लाइन ही देख पा रहे हैं, अब ये आपके टारगेट एरिया हो गए हैं। Support now, this consolidation range low should be a support which is around 25,350. That's the first support, and then next around this yellow line which is 20 EMA, which is around 25,150. So it's a buy on dip like what we shared last week also. कि buy on dips आप maintain करके रखिए। Obviously stock specific तो आपको focus करना ही पड़ेगा, sector specific भी you should act accordingly. This is about Nifty. Now let's talk about banking index. So here's the, I would say the star for the week, because at one point of time when IT was under pressure, it was banking which, played the crucial role to sustain the, positive tone somehow. And finally, we have a new high in banking index as well. So this is a big thing, means after underperforming for quite some time, we are finally seeing that banking is also participating in the move. What next? So it's, as you can see, it's a channel that's been trading in for quite some time, right? So there were multiple tests here, here also. This time around, it was slightly on the higher side, and on the upper side, these were the attempts. So if we say that where is going to be the first target, this red line closer to 55,000 is going to be the first target area, the upper band of this channel. Another important aspect is that the consolidation means since we have surpassed the previous high, this entire range, roughly around 3,000 points, if we add to this breakout range, that comes around 57,000. So these are the two target areas, 55,000 and 57,000, that we have for the banking index now, right? And this base here, 52,500, is something that it should respect in case if there will be any profit taking. Though I am taking a very, deeper stop losses, but I feel that if this momentum has to continue, it should not even penetrate this 53,000 mark now. So largely the bias is on positive side. Here also one should continue with buy on dips approach with focus on private banks. तो देखिए इनलाइन, जैसे कि हमने निफ्टी की बात की कि वहां तो तेजी दिख ही रही है, यहाँ पे तेजी वापस आई है। काफी लंबे टाइम तक ये इंडेक्स का रिकॉर्ड हाई था और काफी टाइम बाद आपने अब रिकॉर्ड हाई को वापस क्रॉस किया है। तो बाकी सारे इंडेक्स ऑलरेडी अच्छा परफॉर्म कर रहे थे, बैंकिंग जो पीछे था अब वहां पे भी पार्टिसिपेशन दिख रहा है। तो जब आप रिकॉर्ड हाई को रिक्लेम करते हैं तो दो चीजें होती हैं, एक थोड़ा बहुत कंसोलिडेशन कभी कभार और फिर कंटिन्यूएशन ऑफ मूव। यहाँ पे भी पॉसिबिलिटी है कि थोड़ा बहुत कंसोलिडेशन हो सकता है, बट अब जो ये रेड लाइन आप देख पा रहे हैं इसका अपर बैंड 55,000 पहला टारगेट होगा आपका, उसके बाद 57,000 तक के लिए मार्केट में खुला है। फोकस कहाँ पे करना है? प्राइवेट बैंक्स, पीएसयूज पे फोकस नहीं करना है, देखना नहीं है, राइट? सो दिस इज अबाउट बैंक। नाउ लेट्स टॉक अबाउट स्टॉक्स। Havels, we have discussed about this stock in past also, but for the simple reason that when markets are doing well, but today also you must have noticed, those who are active traders, that in the second half, market was extremely choppy, right? We have had very volatile swings. So in a market like this, we should have at least a couple of names from the low beta space also, wherein we are seeing steady uptrend. And Havells is one such name. So after this, consolidation breakout, there was a strong steady up move, and then again a strong pivot formation, followed by a breakout this week. So we expect this uptrend to continue and Havells to continue to inch towards newer highs. This is one stock that should be on your radar. तो हेवेल्स एक लो बीटा काउंटर, एक सेफ काउंटर, कंपैरेटिवली कम वॉलिटिलिटी दिखाता है. लो बीटा का मतलब ये होता है. तो एक कंसोलिडेशन रेंज में ये ट्रेड कर रहा था, जिसका ब्रेकआउट हमने इस वीक देख लिया है. तो यहाँ पे भी एंटिसिपेशन है कि ये पॉजिटिव टोन कंटिन्यू रहेगा. वो आपका फोकस एरिया होना चाहिए लॉन्ग साइड के लिए हेवेल्स पे. सेकेंड नेम Marico. So today we have also noticed that FMCG, which was slightly on the sideline of late, they have also started seeing some traction. So be it ITC, HUL, Marico, they all were seeing decent traction. But why Marico, not the other names? Because in the recent consolidation, Marico didn't participate much on the downside. Means while the others were trading extremely volatile within the FMCG basket, Marico was performing comparatively better, and we have finally seen a breakout from the pivot also in Marico this week. So this is the additional positives that we have for Marico within the FMCG space that one can look at. तो एक तो देखिए जैसे हमने हेवल्स की बात की, दूसरा मैरिको FMCG बास्केट में से क्यों? क्योंकि वहां पे थोड़ा बहुत कंसोलिडेशन जरूर देखने को मिला, बट मैरिको में कुछ खास डिक्लाइन देखने को नहीं मिला ड्यूरिंग दिस कंसोलिडेशन. तो ये एक अच्छी बात रहती है कि जब आपके सेम सेक्टर के दूसरे स्टॉक गिर रहे हैं तो आप कैसा परफॉर्म कर रहे हो. तो वो एक स्ट्रेंथ दिखाता है एक स्टॉक में. तो आप गिरे नहीं जबकि दूसरे स्टॉक गिर रहे थे, बट जब बढ़ रहे थे तो सबसे पहले आपने बढ़ना भी शुरू कर दिया. तो दैट्स द रीजन व्हाई वी लाइक मैरिको फ्रॉम द FMCG स्पेस. एंड लास्टली ऑन द लिस्ट, Maruti. So Maruti, it's been almost nearly 3-4 months now, this broader range. Yes, we had this breakout, but it couldn't sustain, and again we were in range. But finally, in the last 3 days, strong uptick in volumes, and finally this break. Though at higher levels, there was marginal profit taking due to this gap also maybe. But we feel that this consolidation is over now, and we should see, a newer highs in weeks to come in Maruti. तो देखिए, दो स्टॉक हेवेल्स, मैरिको हमने बात की. मारुति क्यों? मारुति देखिए 4 महीने हो गए हैं इसको एक रेंज में. जब तक कि आपने देखा कि हीरो मोटो को, बजाज ऑटो, TVS, दे ऑल हैव डन प्रीटी वेल. मारुति ऑल्सो डिड वेल, मींस यहाँ पे एक कंसोलिडेशन रेंज का ब्रेकआउट का अटेम्प्ट था, बट इट वाज अर्ली, सो वो फिजल आउट हो गया, एंड अगेन ये एक रेंज में चला गया. उस पूरी रेंज में इसने प्रीवियस लो को ब्रेक नहीं किया, कंसोलिडेट किया एक टाइट बैंड में, और उसका फाइनली एक ब्रेकआउट देखने को मिला है अपने. So Marico is, Maruti is one candidate from the auto basket. In fact, auto was also doing pretty well today. But we feel that considering that we have strong base around this 12,200, 300 levels, the downside seems capped. See here, when we are at the record highs, maintaining preferred risk to reward ratio is more important instead of just chasing momentum. जब मार्केट आपके रिकॉर्ड हाई पे होती है तो केवल जो स्टॉक चल रहे हैं उनको पकड़ने से नहीं होगा, बिकॉज वो जब रिवर्स करेंगे तो आपको पता नहीं है नीचे कितना. तो जहां आपको बेस है नजदीक में, सपोर्ट नजदीक में है, उसमें आप अगर एंटर कर रहे हैं तो आपके पास एक क्वेश्चन है. तो दैट्स द रीजन व्हाई वी लाइक मारुति फ्रॉम द ऑटो स्पेस. सो आई जस्ट सम इट अप. बोथ निफ्टी बैंकिंग इंडेक्स positive tone intact, 26,000, 26,500 Nifty targets for the coming weeks. 25,350 now the first base, 25,150 next base. Similarly, banking 55,000, 57,000 upside target. Among these stocks, we like Havells, Marico, and Maruti, which one can consider to accumulate. Right? So व्यू को अगर समराइज करें तो दोनों ही इंडाइसेस में आपको पॉजिटिव व्यू रखना है, पहला चीज। बाय ऑन डिप्स मेंटेन करना है दोनों इंडाइसेस में। 26,500 ये टारगेट्स हैं आपके निफ्टी में। बैंकिंग इंडेक्स में सिमिलरली 55,000 57,000 तक के लेवल्स खुल गए हैं। फोकस केवल प्राइवेट बैंक्स पे रखना है, पीएसयूज को अभी नहीं देखना है। We talked about earlier also that the PSC sector, the public sector enterprises, that includes PSU banks also, uh, please avoid them. Uh, this week also, we all know the kind of decline that we had in most of the PSU's name. Today there was marginal improvement, but please don't get carried away. I understand that those people who have position, they tend to look for opportunities to uh, average down their losses. So it's not a great strategy to look at, especially in the market like this. तो PSUs को अवॉइड करना है। ये एक चीज आप ध्यान रखिए कि अभी एक बाउंस जरूर आया है, तो पुराने कुछ पोजीशंस फंसी हुई हैं उनको यूटिलाइज करिए, उसको एग्जिट करने के लिए नया पैसा उसमें मत डालिए। राइट, सो दिस इज ऑल फ्रॉम द प्रेजेंटेशन पार्ट। लेट्स हैव अ क्विक feedback poll, and then we can start posting our questions. So please fill in your feedback, and then you can start posting your question using that Q&A tab. And apart from this feedback, in case if you want to share anything else, means we should include this or that, कुछ और include करना चाहिए अपने को इस presentation में, इस webinar में, you can also share that suggestion during using that Q&A button. So it would help us to improve the content and help the larger audience. Okay. So we are almost done with the feedback. So those who are done with the feedback, they can start posting their question using that Q&A button. Okay, we end the poll now and start with Q&A. I request that please avoid stock-specific questions. Why? Because in that case, this webinar is not going to end in 2 hours also. So any sector-specific query so that it helps the larger audience to make their view for the next week. That's great. If the time allows, definitely we'll talk about few stocks also. But largely we should be focusing on sector-specific queries. Right? So, okay, so Mr. Benjamin has questioned which sectors we should look for the coming week. So yes, in line with our view, which we've shared last week, we feel that after such a long underperformance, banking financials, they should remain in focus. Again, like private banks and NBFC stocks, alongside with select stock from the life insurance space as well. So this is the target universe. Apart from that, realty and auto, selectively auto also. IT also, I would say, if you are looking for opportunity to accumulate, तो देखिए कौन से सेक्टर्स आपको फोकस करने हैं। एक तो आपको बैंकिंग और फाइनेंशियल जो कि अच्छा परफॉर्म कर रहे हैं उनको तो फोकस में रखना ही है, साथ ही साथ ऑटो में, रियल्टी में मोमेंटम अगर आप कह रहे हैं कहाँ पे रहेगा तो वो उनमें रहेगा। एंड मोर इम्पोर्टेंटली इंडेक्स मेजर्स एंड लार्ज मिड कैप्स। So small cap is something that one should be very selective because they are extremely volatile. And of late, we were seeing underperformance also in the broader indices. So small cap में थोड़ा सा भी avoid करना है, mid cap, larger mid caps rather, and index majors जो कि बड़े शेयर होते हैं। आपको सारा मूव इसी में दिख रहा होगा because at times we see our portfolio which is in red or almost flat, but market is 200-300 points up Nifty. So that scenario might continue Because whenever FIs buy, institution buy, largely FIs, they prefer index majors. So that's the reason why we are seeing banking, you know, moving sharply, especially the private banking majors, and why the other stocks are still struggling, uh, especially like uh, small cap and lower mid cap stocks. All right. Okay, so this is important. I'm sure most of the people would be interested in knowing this. Is the defense sector move is over? So I've been mentioning this in this webinar, otherwise also through various mediums, that if anything goes up, like at 90-degree, so that eventually somewhere, uh, you know, the rise stops. And that is what is happening in banking, railways, defense, railways, and other PSUs. We all know the kind of move that we had in all these names. And they are just down 30-40% from the record highs after almost 300-400% kind of up move. And still, because we are stuck at the higher end, obviously it hurts. I still feel that reversal, it's too early to say. Correction, like in some of these names, we have seen sharp correction, 30-40% from the highs, but there is no sign of reversal. So please do not preempt, please do not add to your loss making position, especially if in the they are in FNO segment. तो देखिए, ये क्वेरी का आंसर करना हिंदी में भी उतना ही इंपॉर्टेंट है, बिकॉज बहुत सारे लोग होंगे जो कि ये समझना चाह रहे होंगे कि डिफेंस और रेलवेज का क्या, वो क्यों नहीं पार्टिसिपेट कर रहे. तो जब कोई भी चीज एक वर्टिकली ऊपर जाती है तो उसके बाद सांस लेने के लिए एक पॉज, एक कंसोलिडेशन, वही चीज हो रही है अभी. और उसमें करेक्शन भी होता है. तो अभी करेक्शन जैसे 30-40% का हो चुका है अभी रिकॉर्ड हाई से. अभी भी वो थमता हुआ शायद थम जाए, नॉट श्योर, बट अभी कोई साइन ऑफ रिवर्सल नहीं है कि अच्छा अब ठीक है यहाँ से गिरावट बंद हो जाएगी, अभी रिवर्स हो जाएगा. तो ऐसा कोई अभी साइन नहीं है. आज थोड़ा बहुत पॉज था, थोड़ा सा बाउंस था, बट वो सस्टेन करेगा नहीं करेगा, दैट वी हैव टू सी. सो डिफेंस, रेलवेज, other PSUs, please avoid if the view is short term. So hope it answers your query. Sure, Mr. Robert will share this feedback with the respective team as well. Just save your query. Right. Okay, what next? So railways we've already discussed, so hope it answers your query. Okay, next question from Mr. Abhijit Jain again, that can we see a big correction after Diwali or after the US election? Should we hold cash? So see, nobody knows, to be honest. If I claim that I know कि market में post Diwali क्या होने वाला है, US election, nobody knows. The best approach that I personally feel for any investor or trader is to follow what markets are doing. Do not try to preempt, that this is the top of the market, this is the bottom of the market. Nobody knows. Like what we shared today, 25, 150, 350 is now the base. If we break the base, why to wait for US election or Diwali? We should be exiting the market then and there. not to wait for 40-50% kind of a cut in your trading or investment portfolio, right? So just maintain a threshold in mind that if my portfolio will be down, let's say trading portfolio will be down 10% from its recent high, I'll be at least liquidating half of my position. 20% more, I'll not be taking any fresh trade also. This kind of discipline is something that one should build if you are planning to sustain in the market for the long run. And it holds true for investors also. It's not that since I'm investing, and at times the approach in that, if something gets stuck in trading, we become investor, and then we keep on holding stock, till eternity. It may take 2 years, 3 years, but the entire time, like, we spend with that stock, with that portfolio, has huge opportunity cost. Means you could have deployed that cash somewhere else and made returns. So hope it answers your query. Okay. All right. More of stock specific questions. And so sector to avoid, like we've already shared, PSUs is something that you should avoid. PSU को नहीं करना है. उसके अलावा और कोई सेक्टर ऐसा कुछ दिख नहीं रहा है मुझे. मीडिया थोड़ा बहुत यस अंडर परफॉर्म कर सकता है. तो मीडिया में तो वैसे भी आप देखते हैं कि कोई एक क्लियर ट्रेंड नहीं होता है, तो उसको भी आपको अवॉइड करना चाहिए. और PSUs को, ये दोनों आपको should be on your avoid list. Okay. Right. So we have a couple of queries. The stocks, since we have time in hand, we'll just address a couple of names. So see the healthcare names like Apollo, Aster DM, they all are doing well. So if you have any existing position, you can stay put. 400 should be your closing stop for that existing trade, and you can keep on trailing your stop losses on rise. So let's say if it reaches to a new high around 440, you can trail your stop loss to 425 and hold. And for MRPL, it's a fresh breakdown. So if you have any existing position, the prudent approach is to liquidate, because the next support comes around 168, 170 levels. So it looks weak to us. In case of recovery, 190.92 is going to be the area of resistance. Okay, so yes, we have answered all the queries. So thank you once again, everyone. And next week is going to be a different week, because it's Friday post, the monthly expiry. So we'll have a rollover webinar. So please do join in for that, wherein we talk about how the monthly rollovers panned out and what all stock that one should be focusing on. So yeah, with this, we can end this presentation. Thank you once again. Good day.